Hello and welcome to Love Samantha Lee, the More Than Just Pretty podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Lee, and here we explore love, life, spirituality, and relationships through the lens of real beauty, the kind that begins the moment you decide to be unapologetically yourself. Join us as we dive into heartfelt discussions that challenge, inspire us, and connect us. Are you ready to embrace your true self? Let's begin. What's up, family? It's your girl, Samantha Lee. And y'all, today's episode, I'm going to entitle it, It's in the Details. Now, you guys, I'm sitting here and I'm not going to lie. I'm sitting here with, actually, you know what, to be honest with you, they've kind of resolved a little bit. But I had hives on my hands, hives on my feet. I've just been incredibly stressed. Had a situation that popped up over the weekend. And y'all, I'll be honest with you, maybe next week I can be a little bit more open about it. But I was like, okay, God, what is going on? But before this situation popped up, and I'm going to get a little bit into like how I'm dealing with that stress-wise, but I was in a season right now, you guys. I'm in a season where I'm just seeing God in an incredible way. I mean, when I say in an incredible way, I'm just seeing, like, I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling like hopeful about the future. I know that God is like showing me things and expressing to me things. Like, I'm in my prayer time and I'm seeing him connect the dots to things that haven't even happened yet. And I'm just feeling really excited about what God is doing in my life. And as I was sitting there, there's been moments where, just random moments where I'm, doing my daughter's hair and something will pop up and in my mind, and it really isn't something that has even happened yet, but it's like, it's a detail that only makes sense. I'm trying to express it without, like, it's hard to express exactly what I'm trying to say, so I'm going to do it the best I can. But it's God showing me that every aspect of our lives is intentional. I used to think when I made decisions in my life, family, like the desires that I had, the things that I did, just kind of was like, oh, this is what I do. This is what Sam likes. This is what Sam does. This is what, I like to talk. I have I feel like a pretty entertaining personality. I'd like to think that anyway. I like being around people. I like, discussing certain matters. I tend to have an opinion about I can have an opinion about almost anything. I don't touch politics. I don't touch religion, but I can have an opinion almost about anything. I like sports. I like this. There's just certain things about me, just certain aspects of myself that I just thought were just Sam, right? And it wasn't like a divine plan. It wasn't divine creation. It's just who I am. It's just whatever. And in these last couple weeks specifically, God has shown me, and I hope that I can show you, that everything about you is intentional. Everything about who you are and who God has created you to be is intentional. And as I started, like, there was an opportunity that came up for me, and I'm gonna share this. And when I was in college, my first degree, what I wanted to be was get a degree in communications. And at that time, when I was in college, communications degree, everybody was like, that's oversaturated, there's too many people in it. Because my ideal, what I wanted to do was sit in front of a microphone and talk. Like, that I thought was living. Like, if I could do that every single day, I was like, this is the life I want to lead. I would love that. And unfortunately, at the time, I was discouraged because I was told at multiple institutions. I started off at Berry College. I ended up transferring to UGA. And multiple institutions told me that it's oversaturated. It's not the easiest thing to do. And, it might not be the payout that you desire and all those things. And I had to consider that. So I switched my degree to psychology because I also had equal interest, if not a little bit. I like talking, but I really, really liked studying people's mind and I had a very strong interest in that as well. So I went in that direction. Well, anyway, long story short, years later, I get an opportunity, and it happens to be in radio. Now, family, the crazy part about that is that there was so much in the beginning of my career. Like, you don't understand the desire that I had. I remember listening to like Steve Harvey morning show and, V103. Y'all know I'm in Atlanta. So we listening to these shows and I'm like, man, I would love to do that. I would love to. And basically putting that dream aside because I just didn't feel like it was realistic. And yet God's been spinning the block on me, giving me opportunity to say, hey, no. I gave you that desire for a reason. That it may not look the way you wanted it to look, and it may not have happened at the time you wanted it to happen. But there's a reason. There's a reason. And now, y'all, I'm not on radio. And in the opportunity, I pray that happens and things like that. But I'm sharing that with you guys as like this. I said to you guys, this transparency. I'm speaking these things, but the opportunity is there. And I know that if I get the opportunity, I'm going to nail it, and just be myself and not think more about it than that. But just the thought of that, just the thought, there's somebody calling me up and saying, hey, do you even have interest in doing something like this? And I'm like, wait. Yeah, y'all, let me play this out, y'all. I had spent beginning of my college career, first 2 years, wanting to do this. And I've been told over and over again, it's not possible. And then now I'm getting a call. Hey, are you interested in this? Wait. Hold up, God. Hold up. I'm overwhelmed. I was told I couldn't. But here I am, years later, getting a call saying if I'm interested in something like this. I'm telling you guys, that just made me sit down. I looked up at the sky and I said, you know what, God? You're just so good. And it's just like the enemy to try to attack me in this moment. Just like him because as God is revealing and downloading, and y'all in this season, God is, and I'm speaking to everybody that's listening to me. If you are in a season where you are excited and things are happening and new things are occurring in your life and God is calling you to do things, you do them. Okay. I don't want you guys to be sitting down. If God's telling you to stop doing this, do it. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. God told me, Sam, like the other day I was convicted. I was on social media too much. God told me, Sam, you need to get off that. I started putting limits on it immediately. I just felt the conviction. I did it. God gives us that inkling. He gives us the anointing to do it. And when we don't do it in that moment, we miss that anointing. Then we got to do it in our own strength. We have to, when God gives us a prompting, we got to move on it. And in this season, God has been giving me multiple promptings. And I'm like, okay, God, I know I'm on the brink of something. Something is about to occur in my life. And of course, you're going to have some foolishness pop up, but it's okay because I know that God is with me. And if God is with me, God is going to see me through this thing. It doesn't matter what shows up at my front door, unexpected, unannounced. I know that what my God is here. He's seeing me through. He's showing me things. He's revealing things to me. And of course, opposition is going to come. And even though you guys, I've been sitting here and I've been shaking and I got these hives on my hand and literally hives on my feet. And I'm just in stress. I'm like, you know what? I still got to work. I still got to show up because I'm going to be faithful. I'm not going to let the enemy win. I know I could be sitting here in distress and not do this podcast and not do the content that I was supposed to do today. No. And then as I was doing the content, my computer wanted to shut down as soon as I was about to do the podcast. I'm like, no, I'm not going to let the enemy win. And I'm going to let my words fly. I'm not going to try to make this perfect. I'm not going to try to print this out and make this look pretty and everything. I am going to let you guys hear my raw emotionality. Why? Because I do think that at the beginning of this year, I am not the only one. That God is saying something new is about to happen. Somebody else's earth is shaking. Somebody else is feeling the promptings of God. Somebody else knows that they're on the brink of something new. And I want to reveal something to you that God has revealed to me in my private time. He has shown me that this year is a full circle year. Full circle. What does that mean? Full circle. Everything. My desires from y'all, there's things that God is showing me about my spouse. There's things that I know about my spouse that I'm flabbergasted. I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, wow, my next relationship, I already know. He's like, this is why it's this way, and this is why this is happening, and this is what it needs to be. Like, I'm like, God, okay, this is a lot. Is this? And then in that moment, you leave that moment and you feel peace, and you're like, okay, that was definitely God, because that wasn't me. I don't know nothing about this. This is above my pay grade. You walk outside of that moment, and then, of course, the enemy attacks you. Did God really say that? Was that you? And then you start feeling the enemy question you. As soon as you feel like you heard God, the enemy is right there, just right after that moment, trying to get you off. And I've been battling that. And then you get an attack, and I got an attack, and I'm like, okay, you know what, God, I'm just going to try to stay faithful. I'm just going to try to stay strong. I'm just going to try to stay prayed up. I'm going to just stay close to the cross and just trust you through it, because I know you're good, and I know you're merciful. And I know you've got a plan, and I know you work all things for my good. And I know I'm jumbled and my words are all over the place, but I know that somebody else is going to have a full circle year. And what that means is that things that God told you as a child, it's all going to make sense this year. Things that God told you, in your early adulthood, things about who you're going to be, just different promptings that you had, different things that you're not like everybody else. You don't think the same way. There's different things within you that set you apart. Those things are coming up, and you've kind of suppressed those things because you don't really understand them yourself. But God's saying this year, I'm revealing those things to you. I'm revealing those things to you because it's all going to make sense. It's a full circle year. That desire that you have for whatever career that you wanted, it's going to make sense. The reason why that relationship didn't work, it's going to make sense. The desire for that type of partner, it's going to make sense. All of it is going to make sense. All of it is going to come to fruition. All of it. And it's not the end of the story. It's almost like a sequel movie. It's like the end of one movie, like leaves like little cliffhangers for the next movie. It's the end of the one book one, but book two is about to start getting written. This is what this year is about for some people. That God, like he's doing to me, is revealing to you the purpose for why you've been born. And it's not about you. Y'all, it's become abundantly clear. It's not about me. There's a unique agitation that I've received. I know that I spoke a little bit about this last week, but God has told me recently, just talking about like marriage and my desire to be married. And, I obviously dealt with some trauma. And when it comes to that, I'm not going to get into that. Of course, that is not what I do here. I'm not into that, but I've obviously dealt with some things in that realm, and I know I'm not the only one who has. And so that created a hesitation to want to do that again. And so I say all that to say that God was dealing with me about that, and that a lot of the hesitation, a lot of, even prior to me getting married, just a lot of the hesitation I had before that was related to a lot of the content that I consumed, a lot of the things that I've heard growing up, a lot of those things. And I've realized that just a deeper agenda that is going on that we do not realize, that we do not have an understanding of. And I've learned, and I've seen, I've learned over these last couple of weeks, how our popular media has influenced our community. How we see, like, I've learned, y'all, I'm sorry, I'm excited, I'm hyped up, and I got to slow down to speed up. So to back up a little bit, I know that certain artists get pushed, right? I know that because I've been around the music industry. I understand that when a machine gets behind you, it can make anybody hot. Literally, quite literally, anybody hot. When you get money behind you, the machine behind you, it can make anybody hot, right? And so with me understanding this, I started understanding that a lot of the music that we're listening to for men and women are being filtered through this machine, right? And we've seen even this year, different artists even taking action, like, legal action against certain powers at be because of the music that they were pushing. Because at the end of the day, the machine can make anybody hot. Anybody hot. And so what I've learned and what I've seen is that our media has an agenda. And it's to put out a certain rhetoric, it's a single agenda for our community. For the Black and brown community, it's a single agenda. Hypersexualizes both men and women and causes us to want to be apart, pits us against each other. And I don't even think it's just to the Black and brown community, because I think it's pitting both just men and women in general. And then within our community, it's causing even more of a hesitation to get married, more of a hesitation to create, families that live in one home, not broken homes, where there's just way more of that. And a lot of that you can pinpoint and trace back to the influence of our media. Now, somebody wrote me in the comments and was like, hey, can you say that that's causation or correlation? I can't say it's causation. Causation, you have to go do research, and you have to see, does one cause the other? That's usually like a real scientific experiment, research type thing. I can't do that. I can say correlation, where it does seem to be related. And this unique agitation only has happened within the last couple of weeks. It's just been within me understanding that a lot of what I feel about marriage and the hesitations that I've had don't really come from God. It's not really a God thing. It's a community thing. It's how I was raised. Obviously I've experienced some things at this point as well, but even prior to that, my hesitation has come a lot from what content I've consumed. Because I wanted to pursue my career, because I thought that was the most important thing, to put the family on the back burner. That family and creating family and having kids is just going to hold me back. And all of these different things that are being put out to our younger generation. And so I say all of this to say that God has decided this year to put a fire in me and to say, listen, there's some things that I need you to change, to shift, some habits I need you to manipulate, because in order for you to really reach the purpose that I have for you, in order for you to do the things that I've called and purposed for you to do, I need you to put these things aside. I need you to really get your head together. I need for you to get up in the game. And so there's other people that are listening to me right now. God is calling you to do some things. Let some things go. Change some habits. Get out of some relationships. And some of y'all are saying, I want to find purpose, but I don't know where it's at. I want this, but I don't know where it's at. And some of y'all, it's because of the fact that you're not letting go of the very thing that God is calling you or has been calling you to do. You want God to show you purpose. You want God to show you these different things that he's decided to do for you and the plans that he has for you. But you won't let go of what you see. And unfortunately, y'all, God doesn't move until you do. Y'all can keep praying about purpose, but until you decide that you're going to be faithful, until you decide you're going to make some changes, until you decide that you're going to let go of some things that may be hard to let go of, you're going to stay right where you are, wondering. Because it's not so much about you trusting God. Can God trust you? And let me get back to the beginning and the details. As God was revealing things to me about just purpose and developing unique agitations as it relates to, some of the agendas and exposing those things and being more open about that and not allowing myself to be afraid of what comes with that. I realized that there has always been a feeling within me that I was going to be something, a different type of influence in this world. I've heard that in my spirit since I want to say since I was 18. Now, when I was 18 years old, let's be real, I was not a different kind of influence. Okay. I was a lost little puppy. All right. And I needed help. Okay. But now that I'm older and I can see what God is doing, I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I'm not saying that I got it all together. But what I am saying is that with the experiences that I've had and the things that I've seen, I can speak to what I've witnessed, the observations, and allow the world to decide what they decide. But at least if you're making a decision, we believe in therapy, this one thing. It's like informed consent. We put everything on the table. You make the decision. Now, as long as you are not making a decision blind, we've done our job. And that's kind of how I look at it when it comes to advocating and, going on my media and utilizing it for an agenda. But I realized that God made me this way. He made me think this way. He created me with this voice. He created me with this passion. He created me with this type of conviction. He created me with this type of, everything that he's put inside me. It's for a reason. It was for a reason. Everything was for a reason. What I'm attracted to is for a reason. What I've dated in the past was for a reason. Even down. I know I might have said this already, but the way I think is for a reason. Where I live is for a reason. Where I move from to where I move to is for a reason. Like God showed me this full circle. And I want you to know that even though you may feel lost, you may just feel like you're existing. And maybe that God has forgotten about you. That God hasn't. Every aspect of your life, every detail is for a reason. And I know you might be struggling right now. I'm telling you right now, as I'm pacing around my house and I'm looking outside, honestly, I'm looking outside my window because I don't, know. Again, I'll talk about that another time, but in my own test and trial, speaking to you from a storm, or what appears to be a storm, but God's got it. I know he does. He's always got it. I want to let you know that even in the midst of my own, I know that our God is good and he is sovereign, and he will see us through. But sometimes, family, our inability to let go of what we see keeps us in the wilderness. It keeps us from being able to see purpose. It keeps us from God being able to trust us with understanding purpose. I think the only reason why God has revealed certain things to me is that he's seen over time, and it's not because I'm amazing or perfect or anything like that. It's because my passion the things that I've experienced in my life, I've gotten down to nothing, and all I had was God, and he showed up for me. I've had people call me and try to tell me, criticize me for my faith and tell me, how can you believe in this imaginary being and this, that, and the third? And I'm like, I'm not going to throw my pearls before swine. If you don't believe in God, that's not for me to try to convince you. I believe God. I believe it with a conviction. There's nothing that you can tell me to stop me from believing the God that I believe in. And I'm going to come on here every week and I'm going to talk about him because that's just my conviction. That's where I'm at with it. I think God just knows that at this point in our journey together that he can trust me with purpose. And he knows that I will walk away if he calls me to. And I think that some of us have to practice that. Trusting God enough to know that you can walk away from anything. You serve the God of exits. And that if God is calling you to do something, do it. This is a new year. This is not the time to continue to stay in the wilderness. Some of us think that we go to, different places. Oh, well, God, it's going to be this and it's going to be that. Well, if you're making the same decisions, you're doing the same things, some of us just think this is like a magical wand. Oh, now if you're making the same decisions and you're not changing anything, you can't expect anything to change. God can only it's almost like a diet, family. It's like some of us, we pray him to lose 5 pounds, and that's great. But you still got to work out and eat right and do your part to lose the 5 pounds. You can't just pray and it just falls off your body. There's work that has to be done. Faith without works is dead. In this beginning of this year, as this is our full circle year, and some of you guys that are listening to me know what I mean, that y'all feel it. It's your full circle year. It's the year of new beginnings. Doors are about to open. Breakthrough is here. There are things that are going to happen that are literally unexplainable, exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ever ask, think, or imagine. It is not the time to be holding on to nothing. God is about to do a new thing. And if you decide you want to hold on to the old thing, you could be like Lot's wife and keep looking and turn into a pillar of salt if you want to. But in this season, it says, forget the former things, do not dwell in the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Do you not perceive it? I'm making a way in the wilderness. I'm making streams in the desert. God is doing a new thing. He's doing a new thing, family. He's doing a new thing. It's a new chapter. It's a new thing. It's a new cycle. It's about to end. This is a full circle year. God's about to do something. Y'all about to see it in my life. Watch it. If y'all want to see God move, watch my life. Watch what God's about to do. I feel it in my bones. I know God is about to do an amazing work, and I'm not going to allow my flesh to stop me. I'm not going to allow these distractions. I'm not going to allow this enemy, this devil. I rebuke and bind him in the name of Jesus. I know what he's trying to do, but I know that I serve a God that's bigger and greater and better. And I know that he is always winning battles. And I know that whatever he's trying to do is going to be casted down. And I'm not going to let it stress me. I can't. God is doing a new thing. He's doing a new thing in this season, family. It's time to let go of these thought patterns, relationships, dead weight, whatever is dead weight that's holding you back from purpose. It's time to let it go. It's a new season. It's not another year to stay in the same place. It's not another year to keep doing the same things. It's another year. No. We're not going to do this. If you listen to my podcast, we're doing something new this year. It's a new thing. It's a new thing. It's a new thing. You were created for a purpose. Every detail in your life is for a purpose. Every single one. But you choose with your decisions. With your decisions, family, you can choose God's preferred will, or you can choose the wilderness. It's up to you. You can choose promised land or wilderness. You can choose that. That's up to you. But you were created for a purpose. And every detail in your life is on purpose. Every single one. Thank you for spending your time with us on Love Samantha Lee, the More Than Just Pretty podcast. It's been a privilege to share this space with you, where we celebrate being unapologetically ourselves I hope today's episode has encouraged you to embrace your own unique beauty and the beauty in others. Don't forget to follow us and join our community on social media. Share your journey and your insights, and let's continue this conversation. Until next time, remember, real beauty starts with you being true to yourself. I love you, family. I'll talk to you soon.